Shout out to my guest, Corey Guns, for pulling up to the Punchline Academy and dropping a fire freestyle. He has a new project, the Militia Mixtape, which is out now. Make sure you download and support that movement. How you like that freestyle by Corey Guns?
Bro, first of all, dudes came in prepared. They was ready to light it up, and they did the damn thing. So I appreciate that always.
Yeah. This is the Punchline Academy. This is Shade 45, SiriusXM. Of course, I am the Inphamus Amadeuz, and I was scrolling through Instagram today, Tone, and I saw that my guy was in the building. I saw him in Times Square, and I was personally offended. I didn't get a phone call or a DM that he was here in New York City, so I DM'd him literally 2 hours ago, and he pulled up here to the Punchline Academy. My guy, E.D.I Mean, in the building. What's up?
What it do? And like I was telling you, this is not a business trip. This is all pleasure, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to my uncle OG, had his birthday. Him and his wife had their birthday this weekend. Me and my fiance came out here just to, to vibe, come home a little bit.
Yeah, come home.
And I showed her, I took her to Cony Island where it all started from here.
Nice. That's important. So wait, before we talk about the Cony Island thing, right? We saw you had like a health scare on recently. So how are you feeling? What happened exactly? And what's motion going forward?
I feel great today, man. And what happened was I had a massive heart attack.
Damn, bro.
Leaving the gym. I'm with the person that actually saved my life, because we was in the gym together working out, and I just started feeling weird. I started feeling like I had a 300-pound chick sitting on my chest, and I didn't want her to be on my chest. You know what I mean? And it was hard to breathe. I was going through it, and I didn't even realize what was going on. At the time, I just like, I might need to go lay down. I probably overdid it a little bit in the gym, and she was like, nah, we going to the emergency room. And when I got there, I was right in the middle of cardiac arrest. And shout out to the doctors. They did their thing, took great care of me, got me right into surgery. I got one stent in my heart. I had one of my major arteries was clogged up.
Wow. And that's crazy, because you lost a lot of weight.
I did. Obviously. I lost about 100 pounds. But that my old lifestyle caught up to me. And to be completely honest, I wasn't all the way on that other side. I was still smoking. I was still, drinking. And, you know what I mean? And so I did a lot of good, which actually saved my life, you know what I'm saying? But I hadn't made that complete change yet. You know what I'm saying?
For the people who are on like the health is wealth thing, right? Because I lost 50 pounds myself, right? So
congratulations.
So when
that's not easy.
No, it's not. And I actually lost it in 3 months. Like I had like a scare with like triglycerides, which is like, it's like the amount of fat in your blood, right? But not only losing the weight, like what other lifestyle changes do people need to make? Is it the fried food? Is it just smoking? What you smoking? Like what? Just some of the things that
it's all of the above, man. And I think one of the hardest things for us, especially in the hip hop community, we do a lot of things to cope. We do a lot of things to get us through the next day. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's smoking or drinking, or some of the other more hardcore, you know what I'm saying, narcotics that we put in our body. And I think it's time for us to find different ways to cope. I'm not here to preach to nobody. I'm gonna talk about me.
You mean equivalent depression, or just like your personal situations,
depression,
smoking and drinking and shit,
unresolved trauma, the whole
childhood
shit, PTSD. I'd seen friends murdered in front of me. I have several friends that I lost to gun violence, and nobody teaches us how to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Pac famous line, smoke a blunt to take the pain out. You know what I'm saying? He was dealing with how to cope and didn't really know how to cope and never really got a chance to learn how to cope. And luckily I'm still here to be able to deliver this message to the hip hop community. And I'm telling y'all, we got to find different ways to cope, because it's killing us, not immediately, not like a gun bang you out of here, slowly over time, and then we dying younger. Just look at it. You know what I'm saying? We lost too many of our greats at a young age, and it wasn't to gun violence. It was health issues.
Issues.
So it's I'm grateful. I'm thankful that I'm still here. I feel great today, but it was a close call. It was a very close call.
Yeah, man. So if you're listening right now here on Shade 45, health is wealth, and make sure you run the play properly, Tone.
Absolutely. We're glad you're still here with us. I know when you were going through that whole ordeal, a lot of the OGs in hip hop were sending out their prayers and love towards you and your family during that time. Now, looking back, after talking with the doctors and all that, what could you have done differently to prevent that?
You know what? The doctors told me it was probably eventually gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They was like, yeah, it was probably eventually gonna happen because like I put in my post, my old lifestyle kind of caught up with me. You know, we was cowboys for real. You know what I'm saying? From cigarettes to weed to drinking, you know, and we did it all, and we did it every day. It wasn't like we took days off. I was just telling a friend, like, I don't remember ever taking this long a break from weed. I haven't smoked weed since I had my heart attack. But prior to that, I smoked weed every day.
And cigarettes as well, or just
I smoked. I was like, I like to smoke my cigarettes if I was drinking.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, at shows and shit, late night shit. And then it's also the diet. The diet is super important as well. You know, when you doing shows and then the show is over and you leaving and you hungry, it's not a lot of good options out there. So we go for what?
Yeah, fast food.
We go for what's available. And it's 10 times out of 10 the worst shit you could put in your body, especially at that time of, you know, the time of night or morning or whatever. So, you know, it's just you live and you learn, and if you're lucky, you survive once you learn.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's so important, man. We gotta take care of ourselves, man, and make sure we move adequately here on Hip Hop and the Punchline Academy. Shade 45. I got my guy E.D.I Mean in the building. Let's play a classic. You know, I want to play "Life as an Outlaw" on the Machiavelli project. So talk about this record in particular. This is one of the songs that I'll like pull out the catalog every once in a while. People will be shocked, like they'll DM me like, "Yeah, why are you playing that specifically?" So talk about this particular record and how it came about.
At the time we was doing this the Machiavelli album, we was also working on a couple of other projects too. We was working on the One Nation project, and then we started working on what would eventually be the Outlawz album. And so we was just doing a bunch of songs, and Pac, of course, would pick which songs would go on which project. So this was a song that initially was for the Outlaw album, and Pac loved it so much, he was like, nah, I'm keeping this for my shit, because he felt like the Machiavelli album was his solo project. He felt like he was a full-fledged member of our group, and he was going to drop his solo shit first, kind of what Nelly eventually did.
Okay, so Machiavelli was like a member of the Outlawz,
exactly,
like the alter ego,
exactly. And so he was like, you know, I'm gonna put this on my shit because y'all niggas got off, y'all sound good on it, and the rest is history. You know what I mean? And it was. I remember doing this record, and the energy for the whole Machiavelli project was just up. We was moving around. We was doing a whole lot during this time period, like from movies to videos, straight back to the studio, not really sleeping a lot, living that lifestyle that I talked about earlier, you know, and this is one of the great songs that came out of that cluster of music from that time period. All
right, that's what it is, man. The Punchline Academy, the Inphamus Amadeuz, my guy E.D.I Mean is here. Life as an Outlaw, drop it now. SiriusXM, Shade 45. Classic heat here on Shade 45. This is the Punchline Academy. I am the Inphamus Amadeuz. My guy E.D.I Mean is here. We were having some very interesting conversation where I had someone here that was from Cony Island, and he had said that he was the first rapper to ever get signed from Cony Island. And honestly, I don't think that it was his fault that he said that, because
not at all.
You were probably the first actual rapper that got signed from Cony Island. Do you think maybe because the label that you were on, they didn't kind of relate to you as a New York artist? Or because I mean, there was so many people from that label that were actually from the East Coast.
Well, I'm gonna tell on myself right now, because we're gonna take it back a little further. Joski Love, who did the song Pee Wee Herman, was from Cony Island.
Really?
He's actually the first artist to have a hit song from Cony Island. And to give you some more trivia, the drums from the Pee Wee Herman, Daz sampled for Ambitious as a Rider.
Oh shit!
And
really?
so when Daz played that beat for Pac, I knew exactly where he got the drums from. But Daz is a hip hop head, so he sampled those drums from Joski Love, Pee Wee Herman, and he was from Cony Island. And so, of course, we as a group get lumped in with the West Coast, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you know your history, you know Pac was from Harlem. He was in New York. His first rap name was MC New York.
Yeah, I mean the way that he moved was straight New York.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the swag up, the whole
straight
shit.
New York.
Even the type of clothes he wore, the jewelry. Yeah, that's not West Coast at all. You know what I mean? But he got on the West. We came out West and got on the West, and so a lot of people associate us with the West Coast. And I love the West Coast, and I love West Coast hip hop, and I'm grateful to be accepted out there. But make no mistake, we know who we are and we know where we from, and we never fronted or tried to act like we was from the West Coast. We always was who we are. And then also a lot of my group is from Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Newark, Montclair, you know what I'm saying, East Orange, and so on and so forth. So you know, my part of the group and my history in the group, as far as where I'm from, kind of got lost in the sauce.
It got lost in the sauce.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm from Cony Island, Brooklyn. I lived there until I was 13 years old, and then I moved around the United States, most notably the Midwest, Minnesota to Oakland, but my whole family is from New York, and I always came back, always visited. Always love the city, and I always come back when I get a chance.
Yeah, shout out to my people in Coney Island and in New York City running the play. Of course, Inphamus Amadeuz is from New York City.
Shout out to all my cousins, man. I got wild cousins in New York.
Yeah, they outside?
Yeah, they outside. We linking up later, too.
Yeah. Now, whenever I name my top 5 MCs, I always have Pac as number 1. Like, for me, he is the greatest MC because the MC is the master of ceremonies, right? I think we kind of confuse lyricist from MC. And that is the greatest person I've ever seen. Touch a microphone, articulate his voice, be able to make you laugh and cry at the same time. Do you think that it's a travesty in a sense where that message is not unilateral within hip-hop, considering that everything that happened was before the age of 25?
Yeah, man, but I also realize that music is subjective, and you know, everybody's got an opinion on it, and it also got to a point where Pac's presence was loomed so large, it's almost like the LeBron James effect. You know, he's so great, somebody gotta not like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot be that great that everybody like you. Somebody gotta not like you. Somebody gotta feel like you're not worthy of the top spot. And I get that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I agree with you. I feel like, you know, he's the greatest, and you know, not just because I'm closely affiliated with him, because I'm a fan of this culture. And so if my man wasn't the greatest, I would say that shit. Like, nah, and I love other MCs too. You know what I'm saying? Pac is not my only favorite MC. He's not even somebody whose music I listen to 24/7. I know the Pac fans gonna be like, "What? You don't?" Nah, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I was there for a lot of those records, so I don't listen to him 24/7 around the clock. But I understand and give him his props as another MC. Yeah, Son's range was wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
Their mama hit him up. Like, it's nobody walking around with that in their catalog, that range of music, and able to touch so many emotions lyrically that he did. And music is supposed to make you feel something. And he was the king at making you feel something, whether you was like, I hate this nigga, I love this nigga, I love my mother because he made Dear Mama, I hate my father because he made Papa Song. Like, he gave you the whole spectrum.
It was the emotional display. So to kind of piggyback off that, let's say if Pac was alive right now, right? Who would go against Pac in the verses, dead or alive? Like, what artists? Is there someone, if he was around right now?
Yeah, I think who would go? Know, as far as longevity is concerned, E40.
Okay.
Jay. You know what I mean? Those are the first two that come to mind, because their catalogs span
and there's so much different emotions,
and there's so many different emotions that they can give you. You know, but it's MCs that could go against him in the verses. Now, would they win? That's a different conversation.
That's what it is, Tone. Well, we need one of those like hologram verses where we bring like rappers like on stages and do like a hologram verses.
That would be really cool. Yeah. I know a lot of people will pull up to see that. E.D.I Mean, the last time we did an interview, you probably don't know this, but the host asked you a question, but I'm the one that sent a text message to the host to ask you this question.
Okay.
And you talked about a time where you were in the club and you went up to Bobby Brown and he showed you in his wallet that he had the inmate card that they give to prisoners, and it was Tupac's card that he carried around. And I thought that story was so cool, and it didn't get enough attention. You mind like rehashing that story for us?
Yeah, no doubt. And we was actually in a barbershop. We was actually my man Doc. Shout out to my barber Doc in LA, one of my longtime friends, and he cuts Bobby's hair too. And we was in a barbershop and just chopping it up, just talking about life and different shit. And Bob just in the middle of the conversation pulled it out, and it was Pac's prison ID. And he was like, yeah, your man gave me this when he got out of jail. And I was like, and Bob still got it. And he, you know, He had it at that point. I don't know if he still got it now, but he had it at that point. It was in his wallet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, Tone. That's actually a good story, man. This is the Punchline Academy, Shade 45. I am the Inphamus Amadeuz. Let's play an E.D.I Mean classic. Let's play Roses. This is a record that I've played a few times here on Shade 45. I saw somewhere online this was a Kobe tribute. Is that true, or?
It was absolutely the video that I did was a Kobe tribute, but the song was inspired by the murder of Nipsey Hussle.
Really?
And the amount of love that he got after he was murdered. You know what I mean? And right now I can speak to experience because so many people reached out to me once they seen I had a heart attack, people that I haven't spoken to in years. And it just always struck me as peculiar that, you know, people get emotional once they see someone die. And I was like, Nip should have got this love when he was still walking around, and he got love in LA. He was starting to get the love that he deserved, but he didn't get the love that he got after he was murdered, tragically, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, this deserves a song. We got to start giving each other our flowers while we still here to receive them, and not, you know, when we in the grave, and you know what I'm saying?
Of course, man. This is Shade 45. E.D.I Mean's here. Let's play this classic Roses live and direct. That was classic E.D.I Mean, Roses. Rest in peace, both Kobe Bryant and Nipsey Hussle. This is the Punchline Academy. I am the Inphamus Amadeuz. My guy is here. Now, we have a top 5 segment here where we talk about all different types of top 5 things. So my question for you today is the top 5 most underrated hip-hop groups of all time.
Top 5 most underrated groups.
Hip-hop groups, all time.
All time. I'm going to start off with the Dog Pound.
Dog Pound.
Daz and Corrupt. Nasty. You know what I'm saying? The West Coast EPMD, in my opinion.
Okay.
Their chemistry is incredible, especially if you see them live. So I'm going to start with the Dog Pound. I'm going to go after that. I'm going to go with, let's see, who's next? I'm going to say us.
Outlawz.
And I don't feel like we're necessarily underrated. I feel like our potential was never met because of how much tragedy we had.
Was surrounded by him.
You know, my group at Full Power was absolutely one of the nastiest groups going around, in my opinion. Number 3, let's see, I'm gonna go with UGK.
UGK.
I'm gonna definitely go with UGK. Pimpin' Bun. One of my favorite groups of all time. Number 4, I'm gonna go with the Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys.
Definitely underrated.
He's pulling them out the archive right now.
Yeah, Ghetto Boys is definitely underrated. They kind of got swept up in the NWA wave. A lot of people, I remember back in the days, people used to feel like the Ghetto Boys was biting off of NWA.
Yeah.
And I actually felt like, nah, that's a different animal right there. And number 1 in my opinion is EPMD.
EPMD, most underrated.
The most underrated group in hip hop to me is EPMD. EPMD, in my opinion, is after Run DMC and Outkast, they number 3. As far as the greatest rap groups of all time. And, you know, I can't forget Wu-Tang Clan, but I kind of feel like Wu-Tang Clan was not necessarily a group, a more like a collective of solo artists. That was
kind of marketed as a group,
exactly.
In a sense,
exactly.
Of course, man. The Punchline Academy, top 5 most underrated hip-hop groups. Hit the comments section and let me know if we missed anyone. Told how you like that list.
Man, it was solid.
Yeah.
It was a lot of groups in there that I wouldn't have expected to get thrown in there, but it was very
and it was well-rounded.
No, for sure. And I appreciated it because like some of these unsung groups, they really need that notice on a big platform like this.
Yeah.
I know some people at home are like, "Oh yeah, bet." So
yeah, go check them out. If anybody on the list that you feel like, you know, didn't need to be on the list, I challenge you to go check out they catalog and you know what I mean, do some research on them.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like to ask all of my guests that are here is, when it's all said and done, what do you want like their legacy to be, and your legacy stretches kind of even beyond you, right? It's yourself, it's Pac, it's Death Row, it's so what do you think should be the overall legacy? And if we could learn something about that moment in time, like that moment of time from like 93 till after, and then how you guys tried to keep it going, and even with the deaths of like Fatal Hussein and all that, like what do you want people to remember, and what can everyone learn from it?
Yeah, our legacy is one of surviving and enduring. You know, we've survived and endured many trials and tribulations. You know what I mean? From the moment we got into this game, we were faced with adversity. From when we was a group called Dramacidal, about to sign to Interscope Records, and that deal got scrapped because Pac got out of jail and went to Death Row, so we kind of had to start over. Then we get to Death Row, and we on the verge. We put out a record called Hit 'Em Up. That was actually our single featuring Tupac, double platinum record. He gets murdered a couple months later. Then we got to go back and start all over. Then Gaddafi gets murdered a couple months after that. Another setback. I can go on and on.
Yeah,
you know
it's just
It was just one setback after another. And shout out to my brother Noble, you know what I'm saying, who also is a heart attack survivor.
Really?
2 of them. Back in 2021. And so you talk about that, then you talk about Hussein Fatal's death, then you talk about our personal health issues. Man.
How many people were in this group originally?
Originally the group was 7 members.
Really? There's only 2?
It's only 2. That's still active. Napoleon, shout out to Napoleon. He lives in Saudi Arabia. Turned his whole life around. You know, owns several businesses out there in Saudi Arabia. Lives a beautiful life. In Castro down in Georgia. He decided to retire from the rap game, but he's strong and healthy and doing well.
Man, for sure, man. Make sure you tap into the entire catalog by the Outlawz. Special thank you to my guy E.D.I Mean for
Thanks
pulling
for
up.
having me, man.
On the fly, by the way.
Absolutely.
So if you are in New York City and you post a picture on Instagram, I don't care who you with, you're gonna get a DM from the Inphamus Amadeuz. This is the Punchline Academy. Let's play some heat, and we back here on Shade 45. This is the portion of the show where the energy in the room changes tone. Keep the round of applause going. Let me tell you some behind the scenes stuff that just happened. I was gonna end the interview. E.D.I Mean, who was here on the fly, not even scheduled. Keep the round of applause going. He said, "Inf, you're not gonna make me rap?" Absolutely, I fucking am.
Try to play me out.
No. He's on vacation.
Try to play me out, y'all.
Shout out to his lady in the building. They are on vacation. I didn't want to impose. But when you come to the Shade 45, this is an important lesson. If you're watching right now, all you guys on Instagram, all you guys listening sonically to SiriusXM, when you come to the Punchline Academy, it's time to fucking rap.
100%.
You are a rapper. You better have a verse ready.
That's what we do.
And my guy, E.D.I Mean, has a verse ready. Make sure the radio is at maximum volume. This is the Punchline Academy. Tone, you got something for me? Drop that motherfucker. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Turn me up. Machiavelli lives on. Killer Gaddafi lives on.
Yes.
Rest in peace to Hussein Fatal, Big Psych. Y'all know what it is. Outlaw for life.
Yeah.
Check me out. Bitch, I'm cut from a different fabric. I don't do nothing but gas shit. My whole catalog full of classics. Ask your bitch, she know about this real shit. She laughing at you, wondering why your ass ain't feeling it. Hold on. She wondering why your ass ain't feeling it. Yeah, that money keep coming. We gonna keep it going. Wake up in the morning, spray on YSL, check the mirror. She said I'm fly as hell. Now we could both agree on that. I got a meeting at 2 and I won't be right back. My schedule packed, I got places to go. Highly motivated when I walk out the door. Seize the day, carpe diem. Now if it ain't about pay, don't be up in my DMs. My schedule packed, I got places to go. Highly motivated when I walk out the door. Seize the day, carpe diem. If it ain't about pay, don't be up in my DMs. I'm focused and locked and I got little ones watching. And they depending on me to keep this shit popping. Success is the best revenge. I got way more money than friends, but you don't hear me though. But way out in Russia, they hear me though. International flow, holla at your folks. I live a good life, fuck my foes. God bless the dumb niggas that trust these hoes. We live a good life, baby. Outlaw 80.
That's right, the good
DJ
life.
Amadeuz.
Yes. The Good Life here on Shade 45 SiriusXM, man. Shout out to my guy E.D.I Mean pulling up, and make sure when you, because this is a very important conversation, right? We also, a lot of people be complaining that guys don't actually be freestyling, like actually freestyling. So we got a freestyle here. We got Hakeem Green in the room. He's gonna actually do a freestyle. This is the Punchline Academy, Shade 45. Where they can follow you if they want to tap in.
Definitely follow me on Instagram, E.D.I E.D.I everywhere. Facebook, Instagram. I'm not on TikTok. Don't look for me there.
All right, that's what it is, man. The Punchline Academy, Shade 45. I am the Inphamus Amadeuz, play a classic. We'll be back here live and direct.